Happy Father's Day, Mauricio Dubon. On his first Father's Day, he walks it off, and it was almost a prophetic moment. It was a prophetic moment. We'll talk about this, give Brandon Walter his flowers on this sweep edition of Locked On Astros.
Yanier Diaz, this is Locked On Astros.
Hello and welcome to Locked On Astros, your daily Astros podcast. Here are your hosts, Eric the Man Huysman and Brett H-Town Wheelhouse Chancey.
We are Locked On Houston Astros, and we hope that you join us for a daily Locked On Astros podcast. My name is Eric Huysman. You can find me on X at Eric Talk Stros. Find the show at Locked On Astros, your team every day. Brett, where can they find you at?
They can find me at H-Town Wheelhouse on the X, Instagram, and TikTok, at Stros411 on X and on Facebook, and at Wheelhouse Media Company on YouTube. And look, wherever you get your podcast, just know that I'm always positive, always Stros.
Hey guys, thank you for making Locked On Astros podcast your first listen every day. Whether it's on YouTube, go ahead, subscribe to us, make us first listen on Apple, Odyssey, Spotify, wherever you listen to your podcast. Go and check us out. And today's episode is brought to you by walk-off hits. This is the second day in a row the Astros have won on a walk-off hit. The offense was kind of sparingly in the past couple of days, but they got the hits and they got the runs exactly when they needed to, and they swept the Twins. This is not something that I think a lot of people saw going into this series. Brandon Walter, a lot of people thought, hey, there's a lot of injuries. Is this rotation watered down? But you see what I did there with the water down. But so how hot have the Astros been in the past 20 games, or actually 21 games? And Brett, I want to ask you a little question later on. Buy or sell Yanier Diaz hitting second? And we'll talk about some injury updates. That's what we're talking about on this edition of the Locked On Astros podcast. If you like what we do, you like our combined 16 years of experience between Talking Stros with me and Brett with Back to the Bullpen with Mike Stan, go and check us out. Go and make us part of your first listen every day. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button. And the Astros, Brett, I don't think I saw them losing one game to the White Sox and then dominating, well, maybe not dominating, but just sweeping the Twins like they did.
Well, the Twins have not been great recently. They allowed the Rangers to score 16 runs on them twice, to which Rangers fans automatically thought their team was back. Sorry, I've seen better comedies. But the Houston Astros did what they needed to do, Eric. They've not been very good when they score 3 runs or less. They are now 13-24. They are chipping away at that total because in 2 of these wins, they didn't score a lot of runs, Eric. And then they went into extra innings, and they are now a perfect 4-0 in extra innings. We remember what happened a couple years ago where if it went to extra innings, it was done. The Astros were not getting a run across the board. And they absolutely got themselves in a pitcher's duel. I mean, Walter went out there, delivered. Now, I question the Minnesota Twins coach why he pulled the local kid after 50-something pitches. He was wheeling and dealing. Kid's from Houston. He's got 54 pitches. Last out, he had 90-something, and he pulls him from the game. Now, I'm not saying if he stays in the game that changes the game for the Twins, but he was absolutely dealing. Both pitchers were dealing. But Brandon Walter, really the story, Eric, 17 swings and misses. 17, Eric. That is comparable to any frontline starter in Major League Baseball. You love to see it.
Yeah, going back to Woods Richardson, I know this was only his second or maybe his Major League debut. But this is the Twins. What they're doing is they're recognizing that he's a young pitcher. He's on a pitch count. And so maybe he's only gotten to a certain pitch count at the minor league level. So they're bringing him on a little bit slowly. They know that you've seen pitchers across baseball at a certain point during the season, they need to shut him down. So once he got to the 5 innings needed to qualify for the win, I think the Twins just said,
no,
okay, I think we got enough.
No, he's started 9 games this year, Eric. Okay.
Yeah,
he pitched 95 pitches his last outing. I have no idea why they pulled him. That's what I'm just saying. He earned the right to stay in that game. Rocco Baldelli, I guess, is the guy's name, the clown that
there had to be some reason for it. There's some reasoning. I'm sure they're going to be asked after the game. But getting back to Brandon Walter, this was a career high for him in terms of pitches thrown at not only at the big league level, but at the minor league level this season. I believe he reached 90 pitches last time in his last start with the Astros. But this is a guy that Astros fans probably didn't know about and are like, oh, he's just a minor signing. This is not anybody that's going to pull. He's not going to be anybody that's anything's going to he's not going to matter too much for the season. It's just a depth option. But what Walter is doing is he's saying, hey, I do matter. And what we found out since Walter has made his debut is the Astros not only went out and aggressively got him this season, but they actually tried to go get him last season as well. He's somebody that's been on their radar, and we saw why. 6.2 innings, 6 hits allowed, 1 earned run on that home run to Lee, and 9 strikeouts. That was a career high. So what you see is just dominating just different ways. So now the Astros have 3 lefties in the rotation at the moment.
Yeah, you absolutely love that. And, I do want to correct this because I wasn't aware of this. One of our viewers here did say that Rocco Baldelli pulled him because the third time through the batting order, he's given up a 330 average. Okay, well, there you go. See, I didn't know the scouting report on the guy. You know what? I think I'll do that next time. I think I'll look at the scouting report of the guy. But I saw that he was wheeling and dealing. I'm like, why you pull him? Well, I mean, look, the numbers and more than a hunch. So Baldelli was making a coach move that I think pretty much any coach would make. So again, you have a sweep. And what's funny, Eric, is going into this game, you look at the lineup and you're like, oh my gosh, does this team hate to sweep teams? Why are we resting people? Why are we playing Guillorme? Why are we playing Hummel? Like, you look at it and it doesn't exactly excite you as a fan. If you're there for Father's Day, kids got you tickets and it's the AAA lineup, but this team, like Mauricio Dubon said after the game, they never give up. They are in it for each other. They're not just in it for each other. They're in it for the team. And you love to see a team sweep. This team at home, Eric, if they can take some of this magic onto the road and improve that, they can clearly put themselves right up there with the Tigers and the Yankees.
Yeah, and what Dubon did when he came in, he actually made a pretty good play, tagging a runner trying to go to third base to kind of get out of a rough situation there. And so the bullpen as a whole, so it's not just the starting rotation that's been doing good recently. It's actually the bullpen. You had Dubon go 2/3 of an inning. He did allow 2 hits, but he got out of his own mess. And that's what you want from a bullpen. If you get 2 runners on, you got to get those guys out. And that's what Dubon did. And then Bennett Souza came in and pitched 1 2/3 innings, had 2 strikeouts. His ERA is 1.82. Hader came in and he's 4-0 with 18 saves on the season. And he, even with a runner, the ghost runner, stupid ghost runner. I mean, yes, granted, it helped the Astros today, but he stranded the ghost runner without scoring. So Josh Hader is getting it done. So the Astros bullpen is getting it done. The rotation has been dominant. Hunter Brown, he had another great start on Saturday. He's with 12 strikeouts, 7 innings, and he's getting it done. The Astros rotation overall is dominating, and it's giving you vibes of just what you expect from Astros baseball. And I know fans earlier in the year were like, Eric, Brett, y'all are homers. Y'all should be a little bit more negative about this team. This is the team that we kind of expected. We knew this team would turn it around. Has it been pretty all year? No, Brett. It's been kind of ugly to watch at times. But something that's been there the entire time is pitching. So no, the starting pitching is not Walter.
Right. No, exactly. It's not. And your bullpen comes in. Sean Dubon makes some great defensive plays, keeps runs off the board. Josh Hader continues to execute perfectly. And, the Astros are headed to Sacramento, Eric, for the very first time. They've been there and played. And every game is in the evening. No, they're not playing the Kings, not Chris Webber and the Kings. But every game is a night game because apparently the Heat is in triple digits during the day in Sacramento. And I found out that Jeff Blum never even played a minor league game in AAA Sacramento. So he said it'll be a first time for him. So it'll be a lot of firsts. It's kind of like a minor league ballpark they have in Florida for the Rays right now. And so it is going to probably be a fun series. I really hope they can get off the schneid. And we definitely need to make sure we update everybody on some injuries and injured players soon.
Hey, guys, thank you for making Locked On Astros podcast your first listen every day.
This episode is brought to you by Open Phone. Go to openphone.com/LockedOnMLB. Get 20% off your first 6 months when you go there. If you're running a business, you know what missed calls mean to you. It means there's money left on the table. Well, think about it. The last time you had a service emergency, like a burst pipe, if the first plumber didn't answer, did you wait? Nope. You called the next one. That's why having a reliable business line is so important. And that's why you need Open Phone. Open Phone is the #1 business phone system that helps you streamline and scale customer communication, all from one app on your phone or computer. Have you ever juggled 2 phones and keep business going with personal calls separate, trying to keep everything in order, or your whole team shared one number and you respond with, who's going to grab this? Who's going to handle this? Now you don't have to worry about that. And they have an AI agent that handles after-hours calls, answers common questions, and captures leads so you never miss a customer again. I know I don't want to miss a customer, so Open Phone is the go-to phone line that we use with our business. It's offering Locked On Astros listeners 20% off your first 6 months at openphone.com/LockedOnMLB. That's openphone.com/LockedOnMLB. And if you have existing numbers with another service, Open Phone will port them over at no extra charge. Open Phone, no missed calls, no missed customers.
Hey, guys, thank you for making Locked On Astros podcast your first listen every day, whether it's on YouTube. Go ahead and subscribe to us. Make us first listen. Apple, Odyssey, Spotify, wherever you listen to your podcast, go and check us out. I know Mauricio Dubon is having a great Father's Day, his first Father's Day. He has a walk-off hit, but happy Father's Day to everybody out there. This is actually my Father's Day gift from my wife and my kids. So this is it came yesterday. I'm like, what is this? It feels like there's nothing in this package, but it was actually a hat. So she got me, and so she said that she ordered this, and it was back order, but luckily it came in just in time for Father's Day. So thank you to everybody out there that does everything you can for your kids.
No, yeah, definitely. And I'm doing the same thing. My son actually went to the game Friday night, got me one of these nice Astros Father's Day button-up shirts. I almost said polo. He also got me this sweet hat that I'll be wearing to Top Golf. I learned a little money-saving tip. Don't reserve your Top Golf bay on Sunday on Father's Day. Do it on Monday or Tuesday because it's half price. So me and my dad and my son are going to Top Golf tomorrow to enjoy. I'm going to enjoy beating my father during Top Golf. What's up?
Hey, do you have the abs that Jeremy Pena does underneath that shirt?
See, I would reveal the abs on camera, but I don't want to cause people to stumble and get envious of the abs because right here, the moneymaker, man. I'm not gonna exploit my talents, Eric, on camera, but thanks for asking.
All right. So how hot have the Astros been? The Astros, not only have they won 5 in a row, but they have won 15 out of 21 games. They have won 10 out of 14 games. So if you're going back to the 15 out of 21 games, that's a 71% winning percentage in the past 21 games. So what they're doing is impressive. So I know that a lot of people have been worried about, well, the Astros, they're not going to win. This is a time to rebuild. Let's go ahead and sell at the start of the season. And we kept on saying, just wait. This team is much better off than they were last year. And so sometimes you have to be patient with the team like the Astros. They typically after Memorial Days when they start their stride. And so now their stride has started. So Brett, I know that they're doing it. They've been doing it all year with pitching, but what's been different recently for the Astros?
Well, recently, I mean, they've been scoring with runners in scoring position. They've been getting a lot of runs and hits across the board when they have two outs. And they've been scoring late. They actually scored earlier in this series than what we're used to them seeing, what we're used to seeing from this team. And they have just stayed hot by doing what they need to do to stay in the game. And the way they've done that is they've depended on the pitching. The pitchers haven't gotten frustrated and lost their mind and gotten frazzled. The hitters eventually come in. One of the cool things about the game today, and I caught this at the end, this being Mauricio Dubon's first Father's Day, which that's always special. My oldest is 23, so I've been a father for 23 plus years. I've forgotten what that was like. But he said before the game, he read this scripture, and he's a Christian. He said, "Then I heard a voice of the Lord saying, 'Whom shall I send, and whom will go for us?' And I said, 'Here I am, send me.'" And he said he was sitting there with Alvarez, and he goes, he looked at Yordan. He said, "If we tie this game up, I'm going to be the one to, to get the walk off, to get the win." And what a solid hit, Eric. You absolutely love it, because it was a day where you needed someone to step up and be the hero. Yesterday was Cam Smith, amazing walk-off for such a young athlete, Eric. And what's different is you got guys like Cam Smith, and even in the midst of injuries of Melton, starting to catch fire. He's going to be out for 4 weeks because of his ankle. But these guys in the lineup are doing what they need to do to be successful. Did you know that yesterday was the 1 year anniversary to the calendar date of Cam Smith debuting in the College World Series with Florida State? So exactly 1 calendar year later, he's walking off for a victory in Houston. This team has done enough. Yanier Diaz has been swinging a hotter bat. Jeremy Pena is one of the toughest outs in the leadoff spot. They're just doing what they can without Yordan. With the injuries, they continue to produce. They continue to find ways to win.
Not only that, but they're approaching the Tigers right now. The Tigers are 46-27 with a 630 winning percentage. The Yankees are 42-28. The Astros are now 41-30. So they are 4 games back of the Tigers. They're only a game and a half back of the Yankees right now. So they are approaching the if you're talking about the bye, which is very important, as the Astros learned last year when they faced a Tigers in a short series, wild card series, you want to get that bye, and it's very good to avoid that short series. So you want to try to get in those top 2 the bracket. So the Astros are just playing their baseball. They're that 71% winning percentage. They're just doing what they could do, and they're not out slugging other teams. Yes, they've scored some, they've had some 10+ run games, but they're doing it with the clutch hits. Like you said, Cam Smith, that was not just his first walk-off hit in the major leagues. He said after the game, that was his first walk-off hit ever. And I know people said there's no way somebody as talented as Cam Smith, that was his first walk-off hit, but he said that was his first walk-off hit ever in his career. Minor leagues, college, high school, little league, everything.
No, and I mean, I guess it makes sense, Eric, because a walk-off doesn't happen every game, right? It's right. Like, for baseball fans, walk-offs aren't common, but they happen, right? And the guys that you hear with the walk-off history, it's usually the veterans. They've been in the league 15 years, 10 years. They have 3 walk-off wins. But yeah, I mean, and that is what you love about this team, is you have a great mixture of veteran presence and a great mixture of just rookie, just moxie, confidence, and going to the plate knowing that they can compete. Like, they act as if they're supposed to be there. They compete as if they've never left the top spot in the AL West, and they're back up top right now. So everything's falling into line. Even in the midst of injuries, Eric, they're still doing the things they need to do to win.
Yeah. So the Astros just continue to win, and they're doing it with timely starting pitching, timely hits, one of the best bullpens in baseball. And so just imagine they're probably going to make a trade at the trade deadline for a bat. Some point Alvarez will come back. Some point you'll get some more of these rotation guys come back, but it's not going to be until later in July or maybe early August that you're going to get the Arrighettis, the Luis Garcias, maybe even the Christian Javier's. And so you have to wait on those guys. But in the meantime, you have guys, Colton Gordon, Brandon Walter, and even Ryan Gusto is showing that he belongs. So now at this point, they just need to continue to just play Astros baseball, which is continue to win. And we'll go and continue this conversation next. Brett, buy or sell on Yanier Diaz batting second? I know it depends on injury, and we'll go and talk about injuries because I know a lot of people want to talk about that next on the Locked On Astros podcast.
Get the supplies you need from the site that is made for skilled tradesmen like you at Supply House. Whether you're in a plumbing, HVAC, or electrical work, Supply House is a reliable way to order products online. And I can tell you, as a son of a master electrician, something like this is massive because I can't tell you how many times we went from Supply House to Supply House back in the day just to find that the fourth house we went to had the parts. No longer do we have to do that. With a complete inventory over 200,000 parts from 400 plus brands, you'll find exactly what you need delivered fast from coast to coast. Need help with an order? Supply House offers expert support and industry leading service, so you'll always talk to a real person. And for trade pros looking for an extra edge, their free Trade Master program offers exclusive perks like a dedicated phone line, free shipping, and discounts on every order. Thousands of skilled professionals are already taking advantage. Now it's your turn. Join the Trade Master program today at supplyhouse.com/TM and start ordering plumbing, HVAC, and electrical supplies with just a few clicks. Plus, use the promo code SH5 for 5% off your first order. That's supplyhouse.com.
Hey guys, thank you for making Locked On Astros podcast your first listen every day. Whether it's on YouTube, go ahead, subscribe to us, make us first listen. Apple, Odyssey, Spotify, wherever you listen to your podcast, go and check us out. Sometimes versatility is a very valuable asset. When you're a player like Cooper Hummel, you get DFA'd by several teams in 1 year. I believe I heard that he had 17 transactions just this year since March. And Cooper Hummel is back with the Astros.
He's been DFA'd like 3 times, I think, by the Orioles, 2 times or 3 times. I mean, this guy, yeah. I mean, hey, there's something there. I mean, there's a reason why teams keep hiring him. So while he's here, look, he moved the runner over today, but I would love for him to contribute if he's in the lineup.
All right, so we know that there was an injury to Jacob Melton, so he's going to be out, according to Dana Brown. He has an ankle sprain, and it will likely keep him out, like you mentioned earlier, at least 4 weeks. I think they're going to be very precautious here. They're not going to try to rush him back, and it really sucks because he was actually starting to come into his own. He had that RBI triple in a game, and then he left the game. I know. At first, I thought it was because of the lead, but at that time, then they said that he had the injury. So hopefully it's something where he can come back and help the Astros at some point, because I think he was kind of giving the Astros the offense a little shot of energy with what he can do, not only just with his power, or with it, he didn't hit a home run, but with just his timely hitting. And he just seems like he's a guy that the Astros need. And he's also a left-handed hitter, and that's what the Astros don't have.
And it was fun seeing Smith and Melton in the same lineup in the same game, and with what potential he has. It just sucks that he had to go out. Man, I was scared today when Jose Altuve, speaking of injuries, got hit on his back right wrist. I was like, holy crap. I thought he broke his hand at first, the way he was moving or not moving. Yeah, I mean, oh my gosh, Eric, it was it looked bad today. I was like, okay, we can't with the injuries. Cam Smith fouled the ball off his back knee. I'm like, okay, stop it, please. Bubble wrap. If these guys are going to fly, wrap them in bubble wrap and make sure that they're safely secured in their seats going to Sacramento. But
Cam Smith got hit by a pitch too, and he fouled off the ball. That's what happened.
That's what I just said that.
So I thought you were talking about Altuve.
I said no.
Off the forehand. Yeah.
No, I said no. Anyways, so then we heard that Yordan Alvarez is about 80% healthy. and almost swinging a bat. But I don't know what I believe anymore with this team when it comes to Alvarez. I'm not going to believe it until I see it.
Yeah, then you have the situation with Isaac Paredes. He feels like he's about 100%. He wants to come back, that he wants to get back in that lineup. But at the same time, Joe Espada is not going to rush him. So likely Dana Brown says he may come back during the A series. But if you can be cautious here, not rushing back too soon, because you don't want to rush these guys too back. You saw what happened to Alvarez. You see what has happened in the past. So just be careful with this guy. So if you don't need him, maybe keep him back a little bit. But if you think the offense needs the shot of life, and that kind of brings up the next question I have for you, Brett. Do you buy or sell Yanier Diaz batting second? I know he had the big home run the other day batting second. But overall, it's been kind of hit or miss. The Astros are they haven't lost since he's moved to the 2-hole. But
well, I mean, look, he was 0 for 4 today, but a lot of Astros didn't have success today either.
Right.
They only scratched 4 hits across, so you can't necessarily go with this game. Maybe that gives Yanier the confidence he needs. I think Yanier has the potential to be a good 2-hole hitter, but you're obviously doing it because of the necessity with Isaac Paredes being out. But other than him, who is the other best option? The other best option would probably be Jake Meyers. But I agree with Mike Stanton. If Jake Meyers 7-hole in the lineup works, why change it? You don't want to move Mauricio up too far in the lineup. I want to give him his chances, but he's definitely not worth a 2-hole. Christian Walker's in there. He's not a 2-hole hitter. So you don't really have many other options. I think right now it's more of a necessity of him being in the 2-hole versus let's put Yanier in the 2-hole because we think he's going to shine. Now, with Yanier's potential and what was expected coming into this season, if he takes a hold of this, like you mentioned, and does kind of what Altuve has done going down to the 3-hole or Pena's done leading off, then, hey, it pays dividends for the team. And maybe Yanier sees better pitches earlier on in the lineup. Maybe he catches a pitcher trying to get one over, trying to get that count up early or keep that count down early, throw some strikes, and just puts a bat on the ball. So it's really going to come down to execution. I like the move right now because I don't see anybody else garnering that second spot.
Yeah, so I think that while Paredes is out, and like you said, the Astros are missing some big bats. You have Cooper Hummel playing, you have Guillermo playing, so it's just kind of like you are who you are right now offensively, but the Astros continue to win despite the injury updates and all the health issues. I think Jacob Melton was becoming part of this Astros offense and a guy you can rely on. And the fact that he's out for 4 weeks is going to hurt the Astros. Right. And so now it's the next man up. I know Taylor Trammell is playing in the minor leagues. He could be optioned down the road, but the Astros eventually are going to have to look at a trade deadline at possibly acquiring another left-handed bat, because we saw how much a left-handed hitter impacts this lineup.
Yeah, and I believe Taylor Trammell's only a game or two into he's in a rehab assignment off the IL in the minor leagues. But Eric, looking forward real quick, I was going to show you the Astros we do know who the 4 pitchers are going to be for this series. You got Lance McCullers Jr. going on Monday, Ryan Gusto Tuesday, Framber Valdez on Wednesday, and Colton Gordon on Thursday. So those are your pitchers going into the all evening series, which means really late Locked On Astros. No. Now, Eric, are you going to still be in the Central Time Zone?
Yes, I will, Dana. It'll be next week. I'll be in Washington. So I'll be in Nebraska tomorrow. So yes, it's going to be still Central.
Nebraska is my favorite place. I hate Nebraska. Sorry, Nebraska people. There's a story behind it, but we're not sharing that on air today.
Yeah. So for those of y'all that are wondering, I'm doing an internship and I'll be doing a lot of traveling this summer. And so I'll be going to Nebraska, then Washington, then California. So it's part of my career switch. So I'm excited about this. And so, yes, it's going to be a very late night for me. So I might come home after working in do a little nap or something. But what the Astros are doing is impressive, despite the injuries and despite everything they're doing. I think the Astros have a chance to go back to the playoffs, and they need to get that 1 or 2 seed, and they need to just continue doing what they're doing. I had no idea they're going to sweep the Twins. I was hoping that they would win the series, but the fact that they swept the series and with 2 comeback wins, walk-off wins, that's impressive. And the fact that Hunter Brown continues to dominate. You have Framber Valdez, even though it's a shorter outing, he's continuing to dominate. And you have the rookies, Gusto, Gordon, and Walter. He's going out there. These guys are giving you quality starts. And then Lance McCullers, his last start wasn't great, but he's still been pitching better recently.
Yeah, but I think you're going to end up getting that along the way from Lance, a blip in the map here or there, which is fine. Look, the Astros are probably going to be 4.5 up because I know they're 5 right now. The Mariners are up 5-0. Cleveland's not doing anything offensively, so I really doubt they come back and win. But the Astros have commanded the AL West, and they continue to command their fate as they go on this massive stretch of consecutive games, Eric. So what a great series. Again, happy Father's Day to you today. Happy Father's Day to all the dads out there. Thank you so much for what you do. Both my grandfathers have passed on, but if you have grandfathers that are alive, please make sure you also tell them happy Father's Day. And look, man, it's always great to talk about these guys when they get the job done the right way. And I think Eric froze officially. So for myself, for Eric and everybody, are you there? You froze up. Okay. All right, close us out, Eric.
All right, guys, thank you for making Locked On Astros podcast your first listen every day, whether it's on YouTube. Go ahead, subscribe to us, make us first listen, Apple, Odyssey, Spotify, wherever you listen to your podcast. Go and check us out, and we'll see you tomorrow.
Go Stros. Oh, and Yankees, did you wish the Astros a happy Father's Day? Because we are your daddy.